going on, guys? This is G Jensen, and in this video I want to talk about the baits that I always seem to take to Florida and catch fish with, and Louisiana and Texas as well. So let's dive into just a few baits. Simple, easy, not a whole lot to put in the tackle box. Stay tuned. All right, Florida baits. Number one, my number one bait, the one that I seem to always have in my hand when I'm searching, and what I always seem to end up throwing when I'm fishing tournaments down here, and that's a chatterbait. Unbelievable how good this thing is. And I have three colors that I throw in Florida. I have, of course, a golden shiner, gold blade, golden shiner color. It's a jackhammer. It's got a Gambler Little Easy swim bait and 49er on it. And I'll leave a link down in the description to all these baits and stuff so you can go check them out at Tackle Warehouse. The other one is a bluegill color, and I typically will put a Copperfield colored Little Easy on there or something similar. And I play around with different trailers to get different certain actions, and that's a whole different video. As a matter of fact, I'll link to it. A bluegill color, and then if the water's dirty and the fish are active, but typically I'm looking for the cleanest water I can find. But if it is dirty and I can't get away from it, I'm going to throw a black and blue. So three simple colors: golden shiner, bluegill, and black and blue. You know, and these baits are good year-round here in Florida. Some work better than others certain times of the year, but these are the ones that no matter what time of the year, I'm going to be throwing, at least trying out. The next one is a lipless crankbait. When the bass are offshore, either early spring, when they're out away from, they're not quite spawning yet, they get in those deeper grass beds, those hydrilla beds and stuff like that, or in the summer when they get out deep and stuff like that, you really can't beat a lipless crankbait. My favorite one, because typically I'm burning it, my favorite one to burn is an Aruku shad. This is a new gold color from Aruku shad. Just picked it up the other day. This thing is dynamite. And the reason I say that is because no matter how fast you reel it, because of the design and the way it's weighted, it never rolls up on its side, and that's inherent. That's an inherent problem with rattle traps and lipless crankbaits. Is that the faster you go, the more they tend to roll up on their side and just don't look natural. So the Aruku shad's really good. When I'm ripping out of grass and stuff like that, it's hard to beat a Strike King red eye shad, and they're all in bluegill. Let me pull out a bluegill color bait. They're all in bluegill color or golden shiner color. Same sort of deal. A jerkbait. I need to talk about this. Some type of a jerkbait. Golden shiner color. Works really good in the pre-spawn when they're out a little bit deeper. You can absolutely slay them certain times of the year, but that's one of those baits that's just kind of specific to the time of the year. Ones I want to talk about are the ones that work no matter what time of the year you're down here. Soft plastics. Very, very simple. 4 colors: Junebug, black and blue, green pumpkin, watermelon red. Junebug, black and blue, green pumpkin, watermelon red. That's it. Don't bring any other colors. You're not going to need them. Black and blue for soft plastics is probably my favorite. I tend to throw it more than anything else down here. Or Junebug. Now, simple. Let me see if I can find all the ones I have dug out. Yes, I throw Cincos in Florida. People that have known me for a while know that I would rather slam my hand in a car door than to fish one of these baits. But in Florida, I fish them. I put them on a Texas rig, 16th ounce, 8th ounce weight, and I drag it around these lily pads really, really slow. I don't wacky rig it. I tend to get hung up too much, but I almost always Texas rig it. In fact, I was finesse Carolina rigging it this last week, but I will not throw it wacky style. It's just like watching paint dry, and I just don't like doing it. But it does catch fish that way. But a Cinco, or any kind of stick bait. Same 4 colors. The next soft plastic is a swim worm. Hold on, let me find one. Let me find some. Here's a Zoom speed worm. Okay, it's got a little kicker tail. Rage, what do they call it? A cutter worm's a good one. A Yamamoto paddle tail Cinco. Here's one right here, a swimming Cinco. That kind of stuff. Any long worm with a little kick and tail, I love those. I fish them just like I do a Cinco, except I'll swim them a little bit more. Put an 1/8 or a 1/4 ounce weight, throw it around these lily pads on braided line, heavy hook, and just swim it around these pads real slow. Bring it in and out and around them, and they'll absolutely crush them. Now, last but not least is some type of a flipping bait. 1/4, 3/8 ounce weight on a Texas rig, heavy hook, or some type of a flipping hook, or a punch bait. And I use something that doubles as both, but a punch bait where you put an ounce, 1.25 ounce, 1.5 ounce weight and punch through the thick stuff here in Florida. And I love the Invader by 13 Fishing. So the reason I love this one is they've gone the distance and really toughened up that plastic, put some hardener in the plastisol, and it's one of those that when you're punching and flipping into this heavy cover, if you've got a bait, and I love this bait, this is one of my favorite baits, but a rage bug, the plastic in it is super, super soft. You know, you hear the same thing about the Guggen baits, flipping baits, super soft. And after 50 to 100 punches and flips in here, those things tear up no matter what. And so I like to go with a thicker, and the Invader's a really, really good one, and it's really thick and tough, and it can be punched in through anything. Use a heavy punching hook and you're just fine. But when you're flipping and just kind of flipping into holes and stuff like that, 3/8, 1/2 ounce weight, about all you need. But some type of a creature bait. But that's it. That's the baits I typically take to Florida. The one I use probably 92 more than I should is a chatterbait. And then, oh, there's one more, swim bait. I almost forgot this one. I've had epic days on this bait right here, and this is a Gambler Big Easy. I've got it on a Gambler hook, 1/8 ounce weighted hook, and this is the only way I throw it. Heavy rod is a 711 heavy, or no, it's a 7.4 heavy, but typically I'll throw it on a 711 heavy. 65-pound braid, and then you put a little hitchhiker, little screw lock on the front of the hook, just like that, and you run it just like that. And you can literally, anywhere you can throw a swim jig, you throw around here. Absolutely awesome, a Gambler Big Easy. And I just said the other one that I forgot, which was a swim jig. I probably should have written these things down before I did it, but hold on a second. Let me pull my swim jig out. There's one swim jig that I throw down in Florida, and the reason is because I need a big heavy wire hook, and I need a good grass jig. And this is a Nichols Baits, and I don't use hardly anything Nichols but their swim jigs. And maybe a couple of their spoons, but Nichols Baits, heavy hook swim jig, and I can't remember what the model number is or model name, and I'll leave all that down in the description. But absolutely an awesome jig. I put it on heavy rod, same way I throw the swim bait, heavy rod, and work it through this heavy thick cover and all these pads and stuff like that, and then just jack them and bring them in when they strike. So that's it. Those are the baits I take to Florida. Really simple, just a handful, small tackle box, all you need. Get down here, catch some great fish. I'm actually in the Kissimmee chain right now, and it's been a great week. Finished 8th in my tournament, and ready for the next one. So, well, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. We'll see you.